know.
And that's why the environment has to change. This is why the Messiah has to make a second return, because the environment's off. You see, people, you know, if you look at adults, we're influenced by our environment. So if we're influenced by our environment, then how much more the children? They're going to be influenced by the same environment as well, and much more greater, because they're weak and they're vulnerable. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I mean, you know, even though we had the right setting in the ancient world when Moses was there, but you still had a group of our people that was going off. You see, but the point being is the most important thing is the environment, because the devil's rooted. Everything's just off. What's right is bad and what's bad is right. Right. And that's the word that's being pushed out there. So this is why, exactly like you were saying, the why. So that's why we're in a situation where people, they're led to doing things that's not correct, or just doing whatever they want to do, because there's so many different ways of how to live. Yeah. When it should just be one way how to live, which is the correct way.
Exactly. How you can have different ways to live? There's one way to live your life, man, the right way. How can you live that way and live that way? There's only one way to live life. Like there's only one way to build this sign. You can't build it any way you want to. There's one way to plant a tree. Like you put the seed in the ground and it grows. You don't plant the seed in the fucking...
Hey, but Esau's wicked. He's always saying there's 1,000 ways to die.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You just die, innit? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And if you can...
1,000 ways. There's only one way to live life.
But he's pushing it there.
And so, like you, brother, just real brief. If someone could get me Ephesians, the 4th chapter, and somebody can get me Isaiah chapter 2. Because it says in Ephesians, the 4th chapter, it says that there's one God, there's one power, right? And there's one truth. So there's a truth out there, because see, you know, in this world we live into, there's a whole lot of different philosophies and understandings out there, but there's the truth of the matter, and the truth of the matter is in the scriptures. Now you have people throughout the years that have used the Bible, Christian leaders and stuff like that, pastors that have actually perverted the gospel. This is why certain people, they don't believe in the Bible, because of the perversion they got from the Christian church. You know, and not to be braggadocious and not, you know, and that kind of sort of thing, but we over here, right? And even the brothers all around the world, the Israelites, those are the teaching the truth. This is why you have to accept, and the reality of the matter is that we're the authorities of the scriptures, man. And the reason why I say that, because we're the prophets of the Lord coming back in the reincarnation. Okay, Lord willing, the hope for the elect, we're those same men. So that when the prophets come on the scene, they have to lead the way. They have the ability to teach the truth entirety. So when you have all of these different, you know, leaders of these different religious sects, and they all, you know, express their doctrine in one city, that's going to create confusion. Okay, that's going to create a whole heap of confusion. That's why you got people out here that, if possible, they could believe in two doctrines. Okay, you got certain people, they'll believe in Islam, and then they'll believe in this, and then they'll believe in that. You see, because that's the world we live in. We live in a world that amalgamates all of these belief systems. Anyway, what you got, brother?
What was the one in Isaiah?
Isaiah chapter 2. You can start from the first verse.
Zoning in on the tag. That's that tag.
He's zoning in on the scroll.
That's too. That's deep. Watch it.
You talking about the dog, right?
Watch it. He's way in there. Right time.
Pan the camera.
No.
Hey, that thing's slick. It's so big, but it's slender.
You see how they creep up, man? That's the issue thing about it. Wait.
Kitchen knows. Screw was playing with him, man.
Play with him.
Right, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 2.
No, get Ephesians first. Ephesians the 4th chapter first.
I got that Ephesians 4, was it 3? You want to go straight to the point?
Straight to the point. Huh.
Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body, one Spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling.
Yeah, in one hope in your calling. So there's one body. So this same one body, which is the body of Yahawashi, which is also going to be the house of David, which is going to be governing the next world. We're going to bring forth the one and only truth, the one knowledge and understanding that's going to make things better, and then make the world to prosper. Like you said, brother, this truth prospers. This truth brings about prosperity, and that's why the Most High set these laws in effect, so that the world can maintain its righteousness and positivity. You say, go on, bro. Yeah, read Isaiah chapter 2.
Right, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 2, starting from the top. It says, the word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem.
Yeah, so Amos, the prophet Isaiah, had a vision of what was to come in this particular point in time. Go on, bro.
Verse 2, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. Yeah, so in other words,
our society is going to be above everybody else, and being that that's the case, this is for a reason, because the Lord wants to put out the right vibration and the right wisdom understanding, which when you really read the book of Genesis 1:1, it says that the powers created it says that the Lord God created the things of the planet, right? But when you look up the term, I believe it's Lord, no, lowercase g, the Hebrew word is Elohim. So the powers, which are the angels, which created all of this, they created all of this in the wisdom and understanding of the Most High. They didn't create this existence by any form of doctrine or any form of wisdom and understanding. So when you're ruling the earth with a different understanding and wisdom that goes contrary to this, you're bringing forth friction. You're going against the grain. Okay, and this is why people are diseased. You know, people are worrying and complaining because the world is not being operated by the right kind of knowledge and understanding. Go on, bro.
Verse 3, it says, and many people shall go and say, come, yea, let us go, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of Yahawah, to the house of the power of Jacob. And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths.
Exactly. So when the nations come towards us, we're not going to teach them that there's many different ways of how to live your life. There's many different doctrines. We're not going to be doing that. We're going to be teaching them and showing them the ways to live actual life, and they're going to be blessed through us. You see, so, and I mean, you know, when the kingdom of heaven is set up, we're going to get these nations in order. We're going to whip their ass and everything, but we're going to do that under the intent, because it's like, for example, if you have a horse, and this is how Esau did us. If you have a horse, right, and in order for you to rule over that horse, you got to beat that horse down. And then, so that you can, and then ultimately you can ride that horse. So the same thing we're going to do with these other nations. Why? Because when you go all around the world, all of these other nations, they have their own doctrine. They have their own philosophies. They're eating foods that are against it, that goes against the dietary law. So we got to knock all of that out, clean all of that nonsense out of there. Yeah. Once we do that, then we set the tone. What is the tone? The commandments, the law, statutes, commandments, and everybody's going to follow that kind of route. That's going to be the route that's going to be on the face of the earth. You see? And then all of this confusion, all of this dust is going to be gone.
That's power, man. That's power when brothers are in unity.
Yeah.
And we're all chanting the same name, the same. We can back one another up, man.
Yeah.
Like if I say a precept, another brother will finish off the precept if I don't remember it properly.
Come.
That's power, man. Unison.
Yeah.
You know, if you got a city of men all praising at the same, that's power.
Wow. That's power.
You
Yeah.
can hear.
Beautiful.
You can hear that power in here. Because there's no divisions, there's no argumentation, we're all singing the same song.
Unity.
That's power. It tells you that when we're in the chariots, we're all going to be singing that same song. And only the 144 can learn that song.
Exactly.
So that's the power of Jacob being restored again, man.
Yep, absolutely.
In the former days of old, man. You know what I'm saying? If you got a city where, if I go over to those group of men there, and I'll say, hey, you know the Bible is the truth, they're going to say, well, I beg to differ with that. Yes. You can tell that's probably they're going to be their response. Well, I beg to differ. Well, don't you know that that's actually that's a translation, that's an interpretation. You know what I mean? They'll give you some political response. It's not going to be spiritual. So just off of that, there's no power there.
Yeah.
There's no unison. There's argument. Confusion brings argumentation. Strife, man. Babbling, man. Just going around in circles, man. A headache. You know what I'm saying? Most often, you know, quarreling, man. Quarreling can lead to frustration.
Yeah.
Frustration can lead to name calling, man. Fighting. Bloodshed, man.
Absolutely.
And death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's no power in that confusion. You know what I mean? People are more concerned with fighting one another and quarreling over minor little things rather than focusing on bigger issues and what the government is trying to do. You know what I'm saying? We're all fighting over bullshit, and our focus has been turned away from what's really going on around the world. You know what I mean? But that's part of when brothers are in unison. Let's say camps, like I went to remember the time when you go to the London Central camp, and after camp they all say it together, man. You know what I'm saying? Baraka for Yahawashi. That's power, man. That's power. You can feel the strength, man. That's something that Esau feels, man. And you don't hear a power like that nowhere else, man. You go to churches, you can go to the mosques, and you don't feel that power. You know what I'm saying? There's certain camps, man, where there's power in the camp, man. There's certain camps have different spirits in every camp. Like if you go to say his name, he was in our camp before, but he has his own camp. There's a certain power that's in that. There's a certain spirit that's in that camp, man. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a warlike spirit.
Yeah.
In his camp.
Warlike.
You know what I'm saying? In this camp, there's more wisdom and understanding in this camp. You know what I'm saying? How we go into certain precepts and we really break it down, and the understanding and the spirit of it flows and everything. But other camp, there's more like a warlike spirit in the camp. You know what I'm saying? So every camp is kind of different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Precept concerning what you're saying on unity. Mark 3 and 25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end.
Right. See? You know what I'm saying? A house that's divided itself cannot stand, man. You know what I'm saying? Like during the days of Rehoboam and Jeroboam, when his kingdom was split, the power was being lost, man. You had the north against the south. Okay? You had the north against the south. You had certain kingdoms that were set up where the kingdom was rent, man. Like the Greek Empire. After Alexander's death, we had Ptolemy, Seleucus, Cassander, and Lysimachus, man. Okay? And they were all fighting over power. Like you had the king of the south and the king of the north. And they were at war with one another. Ptolemy and I believe it was Seleucus. They were at war with one another, man.
Titus as well.
You know what I'm saying? That takes away the power from the overall Greek Empire, man. Do you get what I mean? There's power in unity. Imagine that a society, a kingdom where we're all... Imagine the power that's going to be in the earth when everybody knows the name of Yahawah and the Yahawashi.
That's when the Lord said that we as a nation will pray to the east, man, all of that. So that's showing that power right there.
You know what I mean?
It come back, yeah.
Exactly.
How can the Lord's name be praised in such an exerted power and he do nothing? He would have to be raised up. The Most High would have to raise up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Amos 3 and 3 concerning on what you're talking about. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
You know what I'm saying? So they have to agree. They have to agree.
And that's the bottom line. So again, the people and the brothers and I mean I hear what the brother's saying, because when you read the book of Numbers, chapter 16 about the walls of Jericho, there's power when you gather together as a group of people and you make a chant. Because all of this is a chant. We're speaking the same thing. You know, there's different camps out here. You have two camps down here in London, England. You have the head camp and you have this camp. And we're all speaking the same thing. And then you have camps all around the world. You have camps in Holland, you have camps in Germany, you have camps in South Central America and North America. And what are we doing? We're pushing that same vibration. And this is why the world is changing before our eyes. Why? Because of this truth, because of the unification, so to speak. So basically, there's power, like you said, in the unity, man. Yeah, continue on, brother.
This is Philippians 2 and 2. For through ye my joy that ye be like-minded, having the same love.
Yeah.
Being of one accord, of one mind.
Yeah, and going back to what you were saying, brother, about dividing seed. Like Yahawashi said, what did Yahawashi say? Yahawashi said, if Satan be divided against themselves, how can their kingdom stand? So right now, as it stands, you have these Edomites. They have their own different beliefs. A group of Edomites over there, they may be atheists. Another group claiming to be Christians. And then this group's claiming to be something else. So there's that division. And you know what really destroyed this empire? This the idea of democracy.
Yeah.
That's what did it. Because under democracy, which really none of us have democracy, it's just a privilege for a temporary particular moment in time. So once all of this is said and done, and then the powers that be now, they want to set up the one world order system. You got to remember, prior, for so long we had democracy. So being that we had democracy as a people, we've been conditioned to believe that we have our rights. We're free, right? So let's just say we exercised our democracy for the past 200 years. And then all of a sudden now, the powers that be, they're going to clamp down on that democracy and set up a one world system and then change society to a communist society. What do you think people are going to do? People are going to lose their minds. People are going to buck up against the system. Because people have been already conditioned by having democracy. So this whole entire system is unstable, man. It's not sustainable, and it's doomed for failure to begin with. You see what I'm saying? So when the kingdom of heaven is set up, we're gonna let it be known from the jump that, look, this is what goes. What we say is what goes. This is the command you're gonna follow. Just like how the police officers, right? They enforce the laws of the banking elite, right? We're gonna have people follow our laws and commandments when our society is set up. You see what I'm saying? Go on, brother. Read that.
2nd Ezra 6 and 27. For evil shall be put out,
yes,
and deceit shall be quenched.
Right.
As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
It shall be declared. And how is it going to be declared also? Let's continue on with Isaiah chapter 2. Hold on with that though, brother. I want to read that again. But get me Isaiah chapter 2.
Yeah, Isaiah chapter 2, starting at 3 again. So it says, and many people shall go and say, come, yea, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the Lord.
Right, and out of Zion shall go forth the Lord. So first and foremost, in order for us to be the governing body of the next world, first and foremost, we have to be in unity first. There has to be a brotherly connection first. So once we're unified in the same faith, then we can set the example. But if we're all divided, how can we set the example in the next one? So all of this is just a test. And this is why, you know, sometimes brothers fall out with one another, and you know, we don't see eye to eye on certain things. But eventually through the spirit of Yahawashi, the Lord would dissolve all of that. It's really, it's all Satan, man. Satan, you know, kind of hinders things and stuff like that. So that happens. But through the spirit and power of the Lord, all of that's done away with, and that unification comes back all over again. Because the Lord, the agenda of the Most High is to bring us all together under one banner, under the complete truth of it all. Yeah, not under no Islam, not under no Christianity, but under the truth which He created this planet of.
How about precept?
Go on, bro.
Jeremiah 8 verse 3. And death shall be chosen rather than life,
yes,
by all the residue of them that remain of this evil family, which remain in all the places where I have driven them, saith Yahawah of hosts.
That's the 2/3. That's all of us as Israelites, and that's why we all were scattered abroad, because we took heed to death. What did Moses say to the children of Israel? I record this day that you choose. Somebody, if somebody can get me that, because I'm going to quote it wrong.
Deuteronomy 31, I believe.
Come on. I don't want to quote it wrong, man. I want to quote it perfectly. I don't want to go off on it.
Deuteronomy 30, verse 15. I'll get it. Deuteronomy 30, verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. In that I command thee this day to love Yahawah thy God, to walk in His ways, and to keep His commandments, and His statutes, and His judgments, and thou mayest live and multiply.
Right.
And Yahawah thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. Verse 19, thou call heaven and earth to record this day against you.
You see that? I've called heaven and earth to witness against you. Go on.
That I have set before you life and death,
yep,
blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, and both thou and thy seed may live.
And that's what we didn't do. We didn't choose life. We chose death. We chose to follow those gods of the ancient Egyptians at the time. And as time went on, we continued that same trend. So this is why we're in this predicament here. We went into captivity. We went into slavery, right? We're being racially discriminated against.
Yep.
Okay, when we have no respect in this world.
Yep.
Okay, the police feel like they can just deal with us any kind of way, because we like the scripture says in the curses, that no might would be found in our hand, because what we chose death rather than life. So this is why we're here dealing with this world, because of the past. You see what I'm saying? But the Lord, through the mercies of the Heavenly Father, the Lord has paved the way to have us reconciled back to the Most High again. And this is why He woke us up, because the Lord wasn't to do away with the whole house of Israel. So in order for the Lord to have mercy on the children of Israel, He got to raise the elect up first. You see, because we were basically dead, but we resurrected. That's why it says in the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter, that we wouldn't put into graves. Meaning, because when you put a body into a grave, it's officially dead. So we came back up again. You see? So that's the mercies of the Lord. But yeah, read what you got again, brother, because I want to recap my train of thought.
2nd Ezra 6 and 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish.
And it's starting right now. This faith is growing and growing. You have a lot of people among our people that are waking up to them knowing that they're the children of Israel. And they're not just blacks, which is an insult. The term black is nothing but an insult. Like I always talk about, if you look at the huge percentage of black, it's 0%. So when a nation is calling themselves black or have been called black, it's a disrespectful thing. It's to say that you don't exist or you're nobody. You understand? And you got the ones of our people that still advocate this term black, which is a complete insult, and it's a vibration to say that you're nothing. Okay? But we're not black. We're the children of Israel. That's our biblical nationality. There is no way in the Bible or in the ancient world there's an ancient group of people called black people. That never existed, man. Okay, that's nothing but a proverb and a byword that was given unto our people. Somebody get me the curses on that. It's in Deuteronomy 28, and I believe it's 30 something, man. You know? You're going, bro.
As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, And the truth, which have been so long without fruit,
Yep.
shall be declared.
Yeah, and it's being declared right now. This is why if you go on YouTube and you're dealing with our channels, you know, Esau's messing around the view counts and everything. Because there's countless of videos that I did that's got like 40 hits, 60 hits, but when you go on the main part of the video, it says I got 10 views or 20 views. So that's Esau kind of stunting the growth of the shoot, but people are listening anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We've got to start this, I said, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared, man. You got to stand on that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to stand on the truth, man. And don't compromise for the truth. But this world is full up with little bullshit, man. Trying to get you to compromise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, try to tempt you and try to sway you off the path from that masculine energy, man. Keeping firm, man. You know, like a mountain, unmovable. You know what I'm saying? The devil, like, you know, Satan came to Yahawashi when he was doing that 40 days fast. They said, oh yeah, you take that stone, turn it into bread, man. Yahawashi said, it's not by bread alone that man shall live by every word, man. You know, so you gotta stay firm, man, even at your weakest point. Because that was Yahawashi's weakest point. But that spirit, that the spirit is willing, that's what pushed that's what willed him, you know what I'm saying, to overcome those temptations, man. That's why I said, as for faith it shall flourish, all corruption shall be overcome. So we're overcoming corruption with this truth.
That's right.
And the truth which has been so long without fruit shall be declared, because even though we speak the truth, there's no fruit. You know what I'm saying? Because where's the flow of our reward? That's why they say, that's a common saying in this world, is that honesty doesn't pay.
Yes.
You don't get no reward for being the truth.
Yeah, he's the good guy.
Try and get a woman by telling her the truth.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get no woman, man. Try and go to your family members and tell them about the kingdom. See if they don't call you a stripper boy. Exactly. You ain't gonna get no reward, no fruit by bringing out this truth. It says, and the truth which have been so long without fruit shall be declared, man. So that's when the power comes in the earth, man. It will be declared and everyone is going to bring out the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to speak the truth with our neighbor, man. We're going to speak the truth. Even the heathens are going to speak the truth. The heathens are going to speak the truth.
And that's in the kingdom.
You know what I mean? That's when the power comes in. That's when the unity comes in. That's when that confusion, that corruption is put out, man. You know what I mean? That's when that power comes in and raises up in the earth, man. That's when that chariots, you know what I'm saying? That's when the spiritual power, that's when the real power gets put on planet earth again, man. When Esau gets fucked up, man.
Yeah.
When Esau gets fucked up, man. Alright? Because he's the culprit, man. He's the fucking culprit, man. Excuse my language.
And he got to be taken out. So in order for the truth to flourish on a whole nother level, because I mean, everything starts from the bottom. Everything starts from somewhere. So what's happening right now, the truth is starting to grow. And this is why, you know, Esau, these different Christian groups, they have a problem with it. They're going and they're trying to disregard what we're saying, but we're still overcoming. Why? Because this faith, this truth is growing. But when the Lord makes a second return and sets the complete order on the earth and puts the right people in power, then the whole world is going to be under that vibration of the complete truth.
Right. That's why I'm saying that Esau's going to get his ass handed out to him, man. Because he's the one that brought the corruption, bro.
And who's Esau, brother?
These people.
These so-called white people, man.
These Edomites. They're going to get it bad in the kingdom, man. I'm telling you. Even the heathens are going to mess Esau up. They're going to fuck them up. They're going to mess Esau up, man. He's like, Esau don't know. Now look at Esau playing basketball, man. Whatever he's doing, man. They don't know.
Happy days, man.
They got no idea what's coming for them, man. Because we prophesy part and knowing part. Like, you brothers, you don't know the power that's going to be exerted in the earth to come. When everybody knows the truth, man. Right now, it's like only this circle knows the truth. Like, you go to the average person, they don't know they might know about the Israelites, but they don't know the truth. You know what I mean? But everybody's gonna know the truth, man. You know, like knowing the law of the land. Everybody knows somewhat to a degree about, you know, certain laws of the land. Everybody's gonna know Yahawah, Yahawashi. And the Edomites, the one, and if they're gonna know the truth, they're gonna know who the devil is.
Right.
We're gonna tell them who the devil is. The devil is who?
The so-called white man.
These Edomites. So that's how they are going to get messed up, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna fuck them up. Like how they justify killing black people because they're saying like what we're criminals. Like we're niggas, you know, we do bad things. You know what I mean? That's part of the curses. Well, when we get Esau in the kingdom, people are gonna fuck Esau up because they know, oh, you're the devil. They're just gonna fuck him up on sight. On sight, he gets fucked up. If you see, the devil fuck him up. He's gonna get fucked up on sight, man. You aren't gonna be able to walk nowhere. No, you can't walk into certain neighborhoods because you might get, you know, at certain past hours of the night. Anywhere Esau goes, he's just gonna get messed up, man. Gangs of Ishmaelites are gonna mess him up. Gangs of Hamites might mess him up. He's the devil, or the scriptures say he's the devil, or fuck him up. Fuck him, he can fuck him. Right away.
And can I just add on to what you're saying too? Because you really check it out, right? Esau is gonna get racially discriminated all the time. Because if you look at how Esau did us, right? The reason why we have a certain image is simply because of the media.
Yep.
That's what did it. But our media is going to really take Esau apart. Because all of these nations, they're going to find out that they are the people that did all of this dirt, even unto them. Because even during the time of 9/11, 2001, right? When the World Trade Center came down, all of a sudden they went down to Afghanistan and Iraq and killed millions of people. So all of these nations, they're going to remember the ills that was done unto them as well. And these nations are going to want to get a piece of these devils at the same time. And that's when we come up with that. We're going to reveal all manner of truth. You see?
Esau's going to be the new niggas, man.
Basically, yeah.
But in a righteous way, because they persecuted us. The nations persecuted us wrongfully.
In a righteous way,
They persecuted wrongfully because they try to say, you know, we're innately violent, we're gang affiliated people, you know, we've got no morals. But all they know is that we were the children of God. And what they were doing, they were doing it to us wrongfully. But when Esau gets messed up in our kingdom, he's gonna get messed up righteously.
Right.
Because he is the devil.
Right.
Yeah.
So when they mess him up, they're not gonna mess him up like ignorantly. Yeah. They're gonna do it in truth.
Yep.
Now when they mess up, that's gonna be righteous to mess him up, man.
Because they're gonna have a genuine reason to do it. It's gonna be a genuine reason. You see, because they've done too much dirt, man. And they know it too. They know it. You don't even gotta tell them that they've done dirt. They know they did dirt. They know that they're the devil. They know this, man. So what it is that they don't really, like, half of them, they don't really want you to tell them. They don't want you to really put that nerves in their face. But they know the deal, man. Trust me, they know. You know what I'm saying? But eventually what's gonna happen is the truth of it all. It's gonna come on this planet and everybody's gonna bear witness to the truth and accept the truth, including these other nations, man. Yeah, continue on, brother.
That I precept. This is Psalms 2 and 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance.
Yeah.
And uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
Yeah, and the other nations, they're going to be down with that. They're not going to really mind it. Because all of these nations, they're going, you know, they're going to like the way they're ruling over them, due to them being blessed through us. Yeah, we're going, you know, we're going to do them, you know, we're going to damage them. But like I said, for a reason, so that they can be under us the right way. Go on, bro.
Psalms 133 verse 1. Behold, how